In adventure games, playing detective means putting your magnifying glass to every single object in the game. Oh, if only it were that simple. Exploration and its role in puzzle solving tonight on the Commune podcast. Hello and welcome to the Commune podcast. Today we will be discussing the Superhero League of Hoboken. But before we get into all that, I wanted to ask, Fox, how have you been doing?
Pretty good. A little cold. I think my heater's broken.
Need your heater.
Yeah. I'll get by though.
I'm currently wearing a fleece blanket as a cape in lieu of using my heater.
That's custom appropriate.
Exactly. Thank you. Just getting into the mood. Adrian, how have you been doing?
I'm doing very good.
Alright. What games have you been playing lately?
I just started Ranger X today.
Oh.
Yep.
What do you think?
It actually, it reminds me a lot of Bangai-O because, you're a robot shooting. You kind of have an infinite jump, so it's not quite a side-scroller, but not quite, top-down either, but it's actually a lot more limited than in Bangai-O, where you can just do it as long as you want. There you have a sort of a meter that kind of keeps you from being in the air all the time. And you also got this cool bike thing. But the other reason why it reminds me of Bangai-O is because you can shoot, you can strafe and shoot at the same time, which, for older games you don't see that a lot. Oftentimes moving and aiming are one and the same. It was rare you could see a game where you can run in one direction and then shoot in the complete opposite directions. So, yeah. Bangai-O is the only other game I know of that does that. So
something I liked about Contra Rebirth was that if you hold the button, your position is locked, your aiming is locked, and if you tap the button, then it's free aim.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know if Contra 3 does it. I think it does. I would assume it does.
I forget, to be honest.
Yeah, I know Hard Corps Uprising does it for sure. It allows you to strafe and shoot at the same time.
Okay.
But of course you don't have, you can't fly around in those games.
Alright. Well, glad you're enjoying Ranger X so far.
Yep.
Fox, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a city builder for PC called Banished.
Oh, so what's the premise?
It's sort of like you're a group of peasants that was banished from some home country, and you're forced to make a living on your own. You start up with 5 families, which is 15 people, and you just try to build as big as you can. There aren't really explicit goals besides living just keep going. It's pretty endless. So I've been taking the achievements that come with it as a goal to know when I finish the game.
Mm.
It's a lot more, I guess, personal than a lot of other city builders I've played, where you build the building, it's there, or you buy stuff and it's there. It's one of those where you have to command people to do things, and people kind of matter, so that when they start dying, it means a lot more than when, like I said, the disaster comes through in SimCity. Yeah,
in SimCity, humans are just kind of this abstract number, but here you actually have to manage the performance of each individual.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, is this like a survival game?
In a sense. I think the biggest part of the challenge is probably keeping them alive for the first decade.
Okay.
It's easy for them to starve.
Sounds pretty good.
It gets easier after that?
Yeah. Well, once you gain momentum, it gets easier. That's true of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know, after that point it doesn't feel like Banished.
Right. I'm kind of expecting a major disaster to come by and ruin things, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, ever the optimist. Personally, I've been playing Superstar Soldier. I've been working for the past year on getting 1 credit clears in all of the Turbo Star Soldier games. And so what I would do is play some Soldier Blade, and when I got tired of that, I would go to play Superstar Soldier. And then I would play some Final Soldier, and when I get tired of that, go play some Superstar Soldier. And so I finished the games that I like, and I'm stuck with Superstar Soldier now.
Which you don't like?
No, I like it, just not as much as the other two. I find it's not as easy to recover from a failure in Superstar Soldier, so it's a little more frustrating.
Oh.
But it's still a lot easier in that regard than most shooters. You get a couple of hits before you die.
Right.
And if you collect a bomb, then you have instant start back without having to restart the stage.
Why the focus on Star Soldier?
When Super Star Soldier came out on Virtual Console back in, it must have been 2007, I really got into it. And I've never been able to get into any other space shooter. And then last year, I discovered Soldier Blade, which is kind of one of the best games ever. So I decided to take the Star Soldier series a little more seriously.
He became a fan.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Had to play every single game in the series, and then one credit clear them.
That's about how it goes.
It's his obligation.
I did that with stuff like Bubsy and then Metroid and other games.
Okay, well, forget Bubsy, but I am almost done with that for Metroid, where I played every single game. I am missing three Metroid games.
When we encounter a puzzle, we collect clues and stockpile bits of knowledge. Sometimes we can sift through what's relevant and what's not. Or maybe more like never. Tonight, we've got 2 discussions on puzzle construction in Superhero League of Hoboken. In the first, we consider that stockpiling process. In Superhero League of Hoboken, you've got a lot of ground to cover, so hoarding up the proper amount of knowledge means exploration. This time I wanted to get at exploration in Superhero League of Hoboken. In specific, I had trouble just knowing where to explore, knowing when to go where.
Yeah.
I feel like the game is pretty weird about how it opens up places for you to explore. So with that in mind, Fox, what are some ways that the Superhero League of Hoboken can discourage you from exploring a place?
Making it so I don't know that it exists. I mean, I'd say the the dangerometer would normally be something to keep you away, but yeah, I guess if it was higher than my current level, a lot higher than I was expecting, I'd leave it behind. Or if there was an area with a lot of radioactive waste, I'd probably leave it behind until I could get around it. Okay. Environmental hazards, definitely.
So those are like the RPG elements coming to bear on exploration?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's a way that it can get you to, that it can encourage you to explore someplace?
Mentioning it in the mission log. Finding an item that'll mention another area. I can think of one instance of that, and that's the pamphlet in the Empire State Building elevator that mentions Niagara Falls.
Wow, I did not catch that ever.
There's a pamphlet in there? You need the key to get in the elevator, right?
You can open it.
Yeah.
But you can't use it.
You can open it?
I think so.
But the command says you can't, it says like you don't understand elevator doors.
Does it? I remember there's...
Is this a button you press?
Yeah, there is a button. It's a really friggin' small button, I might add. That took me a while to ever realize it was there, because you can imagine when I have the elevator key and I'm trying to open the damn elevator, it's like, why isn't it opening? And then, yeah, it turns out there's a button.
So yeah, that was one. I don't think they ever did that anywhere else.
No. That was a kind of a jerk move.
Yeah.
They did do a lot of putting the place in the mission logs, but there would oftentimes, especially in the later chapters, be some secondary place that you had to go before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tube passes are a good incentive to go exploring places.
Oh, yeah, but, hope to God you wrote down where the white tube car is.
Yeah. Yeah, there were problems of their own.
Yeah. How can Superhero League of Hoboken encourage you to keep a notebook? Adrian, what was something that Superhero League of Hoboken did to discourage you from exploring a particular location?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing as Fox. Whenever the dangerometer was pretty high, like I kept a close eye on it around chapters 3 and 4. It was around the middle of 4 when I realized that I could handle even those sewers, and I would just clear out every area. But otherwise, yeah, it was a good way of keeping me from exploring. The only thing that just made me a little queasy was sometimes I was afraid it would do a thing where it would put it in those super dangerous areas, and it would expect you to sort of like go through them as fast as you can, go through as few combat, as little as possible, and then you'll find something relevant to the missions. I don't think it did that, though.
No, I don't think it ever, asks you to fight above your level.
Yeah, so thank God for that.
Interestingly enough, I didn't find the dangerometer until, mission 3. I just didn't clear out the storage locker.
Oh, that was the very first thing I did.
Wow,
I intentionally left stuff in there because I didn't know if my inventory had a limit. Impressive.
That's another weird thing, too.
Wait, so maybe you can avoid it blowing up?
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. So, Adrian, how did the game encourage you to explore a place?
Well, because I knew from the first chapter that they would hide things in, pawnbroker shops, that did encourage me to explore, and especially after chapter 2, when I learned that you needed the trading water power, even more so, that encouraged me to explore everything. Sadly, though, that didn't always work, because I would try to find everything before I ever needed it, because in the first 3 chapters, that paid off. I found the lead-lined Johns, and then I complete mission, what's it called? Is it Mission Frostbite? I think, yeah, Mission Frostbite. I completed that one, by total accident. I just bought the lead-lined Johns at a pawnbroker shop, because, this is probably important, because the pawnbroker has it.
Yeah, I need to edit in a round of applause for you remembering that mission name.
Oh, no, I haven't. I'm looking in the VG Thought forums right in front of me. There's no way I can remember these. Okay. There's 25, 30 different mission names. I'm not going to remember them. But yeah. But the thing is that didn't always work. And it was in the later chapters when they would be jerks about it. Because I would do, completely explore the area, try to get everything I can, and get the exploration bonus. So if you clear out all the squares in the sector, you get 1,000 experience points or whatever for exploration. And yeah, it was later chapters where it turns out they were putting stuff back into the areas that I had already been to with new stuff in them. And it wasn't pleasing to find out that the game pulled a dick move on me. It pulled a fast one.
Yes. In particular, they do that with the 30,000 pounds of bananas in Scranton. They do that with the
Atlantic
King Midas.
King Midas. Oh my God. Yeah. What the hell were you supposed to do to figure that out?
Well, at least, to be fair, you go there and then I think it's some Ben Franklin monument in Philadelphia, and it's there's nothing interesting here. So you at least know that something's going to be there eventually. But the 30,000 pounds of bananas thing in Scranton is totally random.
Yeah.
That just appears in chapter 6, and there's no marker beforehand that it will ever be there.
Yeah. King Midas, I actually found an accident. I was actually referring to what his superpower was.
Oh.
Turning things into mufflers. What the fuck?
It's it's like a pun on...
I had to ask Fox about that. He explained the pun to me.
That's why it's not a good idea. The Midas, what does the Midas touch have to do with you have to explain it to me right now.
There's a chain of auto repair stores called Midas.
What?
So Midas Touch turns stuff into car parts.
I don't know about real car places. I just got my license. I've never done car maintenance in my life. Not yet.
Their slogan was "Trust the Midas Touch." So
are they even still around?
That's a good question. I mean, Steve Moretzky knew about it.
That's like imagine having a game where the pun was on Blockbuster. Wait, Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. So yeah. Oh yeah, there was one in Atlantic City. I think it was chapter 5 where they stuck a newspaper thing. A pen dispenser and newspaper. Fuck that one. Because I explored that whole area, and then I go back there, and I had to look it up. And see it's like, what? Atlantic City? I explored the whole area. I go back, it's like, yes, I did explore the whole area. So I'm like, well, where is it? And then I meticulously go through every single thing, left, up, right, up, left, up, right, up, and then I find the one thing that's like, oh, there's a thing here. And then you get the thing, and it's like, what? I don't even know why that solves the puzzle, by the way. You put another newspaper in the newspaper and it does a thing. And
because people don't get the news about the Elvis stain.
So yeah, that was another jerk one.
Alright, so sometimes how I treated exploration was developed over the course of chapters in a way that encouraged re-exploring previously explored areas.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you bought isotopes from the pawnbrokers, which alludes to an explicit way that they get you not to explore areas, by which I mean you can't explore certain watery areas. Like, rather than being discouraged or encouraged, you're simply not able to go into the watery areas. There is also the forests and the mountainous terrain that they explicitly tell you when you can go there.
Yeah. For the most part, you don't actually have to explore the hilly terrain except for one instance in the game where you actually do need to do that.
That's I forget what his name is. It's the wise man of something something.
Yeah, I can't remember these area names either. They're like Newark, New Haven, Philadelphia, and that's another thing about the design of the map in this game is that I find areas hard to remember. So when one of them's like, oh, it's in Pittsburgh, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Have I been there already? I don't remember.
Yeah,
so I get a notebook.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. It's like sometimes the areas, you know how they're named like Sector 2D and 3D? Those also had names.
Yeah.
So when it's like going to the subway that's in like 1D, but it's like it actually had an actual name there. It's like, I don't remember the name. I don't even know it. It's not even on the screen. It just says like 1D. So when it's like, oh, this will take you to Manhattan or New York, it's like, what? So yeah, that was weird. I think it was like New Brunswick, that one.
Yeah, there is a lot in the, I guess in the UI you would call it, that could be improved. So you don't have to do Castlevania 2 style, like, what the fuck town I'm at.
I'm never gonna play that.
Fox, I wanted to ask, did you ever get stuck trying to find something in Superhero League of Hoboken?
Constantly.
What was the most interesting thing that you got stuck on?
The red tube pass, for one.
Oh, is that the one that spawns from the enemies?
Yeah. Where does it take you? I don't even remember. Philadelphia? I think it's Philadelphia it takes you.
I believe so. So what was your issue there?
Just that I assumed the solution was that it would spawn. And that is the solution to finding the red tube pass, but there's also a solution to getting there through a combination of other tube passes. So when the enemies wouldn't spawn, and they didn't for me twice, the item wouldn't spawn for me after killing enemies. And after gaining sea powers and traveling the world, reading every sector of randoms, and still having it not appear.
So, it sounds like you didn't have any clues for getting that tube pass.
Yeah.
How did you even, I guess you just had to look it up to know that you would get it from a battle?
Yeah. You guys had mentioned it in the forums, and every walkthrough mentioned you get it in the random, but they never mentioned there are other ways around it. So,
was that often a problem with the game for you, that, like, you just didn't have the clues to find what you needed?
Yeah. For anything else I got stuck on, I felt like I was like one hint too short to finding the answer. Specifically the laughing gas puzzle. Is it nitrous oxide? Oh god. The NO2 puzzle.
That was
That's right. So, what was the main issue there?
Actually, I didn't even know I had to open it. I knew I had it. I guess I didn't realize there were canisters inside of it, so I was trying to use it on the lion, but it wouldn't work for me. I think I ended up looking it up because I didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. What kind of hints do you get regarding that puzzle?
None.
You just supposed to know to take it to a doctor?
It says you don't have the tools, but the problem is even if one, that's not a very good clue, because you think, well, maybe I find N2O tools. It's like, no. It's the train of logic I think they were expecting you to go on is, oh, well, the shaman?
Yeah.
He must have tools, but of course, one, he's called a shaman, not a doctor. I mean, I know he says he has his little black bag, but you're thinking he's doing like incantations or some weird junk, or whatever weird potion junk, not tools that allows him to work with nitrogen?
It's also only the Yonkers shaman.
That was the worst part too, because I remember I had to look it up too. I went to your thing, I looked it up, I was like, okay, shaman. I took it to the shaman, it's like, he's not in the receiving room. It's like, what the fuck? And then I had to go back. I went to all the other no, I didn't go to all the shamans. I'm like, I had to go back, look it again. It's like, oh, it's this guy. And he's like, oh, you found my N2. Okay, it's like, what? When did he say that?
So, yeah, it's not only you have to know to take it to someone, you have to know to take it to a particular someone in a particular town. Oh, it's terrible.
Not the most well-designed mission in the game.
So, in that case, you were just lacking any direction as to where to go next.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe if there had been something etched on the back of it like Yonkers or that you could read. So, does it feel like often in Superhero League of Hoboken your exploration is just kind of aimless?
Like I mentioned, my problem is that there's too much possibility to explore. Once you tread over water, you can go anywhere on the map. You know that once you get a new set of missions, that nowhere is safe. You have to recheck everything just to make sure you haven't missed something, because they add stuff. And sometimes you aren't always given the hints you need.
So yeah, that's interesting. They really only have the four major ways of keeping you out of a place. The water, the forests, the mountains, and the battles. And I guess the 2 passes, that would make 5.
How did the forest keep you out again?
You need the Orienteer's book to get through trees. I think there's one spot where they block you off at least.
Yeah, okay. I actually got the Orienteer book before I ever realized that was a place I couldn't ever reach, so I never encountered that restriction.
So they've got tools there for restricting you, but they all open up by midway through Chapter 4, right?
About there, yeah.
Yeah, about there.
And then they've got 3 more chapters worth of missions.
Mm-hmm. Guess if I was to interject, I did actually read the newspaper from Chapter 5, was it?
Yeah.
I think it was Chapter 5. It doesn't say anything about Atlantic City, so even just reading the newspaper that they have in that box there doesn't help. And going to the temple where people think they're seeing Elvis, they don't say anything there either, so,
I guess you're just supposed to assume Atlantic City is sleazy, and they'll have that kind of stuff you need.
Yeah.
So,
That's
Adrian,
just to say it's not for a lack of trying.
Give me a time where you slapped yourself on the forehead because you did miss a clue.
Because I did miss a clue? I don't think that happened. I know that, when I was doing the last chapter, oh yeah, you cut the tree. That's what it was. I'm like, how do I cut the tree? I think I need to, wait a minute, I have the beavers thing, and then I remembered to, cut the tree with the beaver thing, and then you can go to Niagara Falls. Because I actually did this roundabout thing where I try to get as many people with tread water to go to the Niagara Falls, and obviously that's not what you're supposed to do. No. I even did the thing where it's like, maybe I use cause root rot, but of course you can't use it because you can't use those powers on a thing that would make sense, so that was another instance of that. It's like, wouldn't it be cool if if your powers actually did the thing it said it did? Yeah. But, yeah, that's probably the only one where I knew I was stumped on that way longer than I had any reason to be. I think I actually have to edit that because, I think I literally sat there for like 20 minutes before I remembered, oh shit, I had beavers. Beaver Jaws power. Yeah, that you buy from the pawnbroker.
I missed out on that because I didn't realize it would be a key item, and it's like $1,000, and by that point in the game I was really low on cash.
It also does not spawn at first. It only spawns when you're in the right chapter. But it was only at that point that I was skeptical of the game enough to recheck my areas. Yeah. So, it sounds like Superhero League of Hoboken leaves a lot open for exploration and does not leave any notes on narrowing your focus. Yeah. So it's easy to feel helpless and just feel like you've tried everything. Yeah. Finding a needle in a haystack.
I'll give them kudos in that, at least for an adventure game, it didn't try to kill us that often. It was just random battles.
Oh god.
So it didn't do much better by making things really difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to even know about those adventure games. Speaking of random battles, I actually lost to a random battle on the last chapter when they start throwing 20 enemies at you in every damn encounter. Or they start throwing 6 of enemies that the only way to deal damage is through root rot. So you can imagine
that was rough.
My frustration after not having saved that an hour of gameplay went to shit. Because the game doesn't save whenever you complete things or do things of significance. So you kind of have to manually do it yourself, so yeah. The save system, I'm not a fan of it. It's too much like save scumming, and it's actually something about PC games in general that I don't like, when it's like you have to manually save yourself all the time because they're never going to do it for you. and for something as obvious as, like, beating a boss. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Fox, does that bug you at all?
Not really. I mean, I like being able to save anywhere. Autosaves are also, they're nice. They're also somewhat modern, I guess, putting it in context of Hoboken.
Yeah.
Save scumming is something that's really hard to tackle as like an anti-pattern the user uses. But I didn't feel like Hoboken's save system was near the top of its problems for me.
Yeah, it's definitely not the top of its problems, but
It doesn't help at all.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
What I liked doing was, I would save at 2 pass transitions or whenever I finished a mission. And so if I just died along the way, then I would try to fight the next battle smarter. I guess it could be a little clearer about, like, recommendations for when to save, but it's not too hard to set your own standards there.
Yeah.
After you put in the exploration, it's time to follow through with a hard-earned solution. You can't just walk in with a collection of facts and declare victory over the puzzle, though. It takes brain power to connect the dots. Like, there's intellectual connective tissue that you have to form between one fact and another. But then, some puzzles require hardly any connections, like you just plug a fact in to solve a problem. Got a cheese bomb? Use the cheese-eating microbes. Or, maybe what's more problematic is when facts are so far apart that they can't be connected. Why is that the shaman that opens up your N2O case?
Do you think there's anything else that could be said about the gating and exploration in Hoboken?
Gating and exploration. Well, we know the problem is that it opens up way too much, and there's not enough to steer you in a direction to, keep you from having to turn over every stone to find the thing you're looking for, or I guess a less kind way is from wasting your time.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I would have been more receptive to them changing things as you get new mission sets if they had changed more things so that you kind of got the idea ahead sooner.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I remember the very first mission is kind of a rude, dumping you into the deep end of the pool kind of thing. So maybe if they had been more ginger about when they introduced concepts like that, I would have actually understood what they were trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Lord knows when I first played the game, I spent a lot of time wondering what the heck was I supposed to do for the first mission, the Limburger bomb. Wondering what I'm supposed to do, and then I basically give up, and then over a course of however long it took me to explore, find the thing that allowed me to beat the mission. That's another thing, is that I have a lot of near miss situations that sometimes, that it's weird, because it's like, oh, you'd think I'd be grateful that I avoided a catastrophe where I find something ahead of time. It's like, wow, that was really easy to miss. Like, I know I found the Master 2 pass in the hostelry. Why the hostelry, not the pawnbroker shop? I don't know, because every other 2 pass has been the pawnbroker shop. So when I found it, when I revisited the Harrisburg area, checking every stone, Lord knows I go, oh, thank God, that could have been really bad had I not found that thing.
Yes.
Because the thing is that I already been to that area, and I think I've been to that hostelry before, or actually no, I think I haven't. Or if I have, then I just didn't see it, because even then it's not that easy to see. You're so used to looking at these same things that you can't pick out or you just stop reading the bottom anymore because it doesn't tell you anything important.
Right, it's a copy and paste.
Yeah, so when it does tell you something important, where it does have something important, the other one is that with the horse thing, where it's like, oh, there's this one town where it's like, it has a placard you can take. It's like, what the fuck? When I read that, I'm like, what? I didn't even notice that, because so many of these towns look the same that I'm like, wow. And you read the text and it's like, oh, now the text mentions something important, but I'm so used to it saying things not important and, things being so copy-paste that now it actually has something relevant. Also, that's another solution I do not understand. What in the hell did that placard have to do with horses running away and getting miscarriages?
Oh, it advertises a glue factory.
I don't get it.
Do you know how glue is made?
No.
Well, you might have some education to do.
What is horse made of? I mean, what is glue's made from horses? But really?
No, horses are made from glue.
Okay, I didn't know that, and I don't know why it expects me to know that. But why is something made of horses going to terrify the horses? Like, what is the glue made of?
Horses. So it would be like if you put a KFC sign right outside of a chicken coop.
Okay, I guess.
That's Moretzky's humor.
Oh yeah, the tiger, it didn't work on that mission. That was another thing. Although I'll give them props that they actually accounted for it.
Yeah, that was rare that you did a wrong thing and they gave you a clue for a later mission that you had to that the tiger would eat rats.
Yeah, so when I went to the League of Flushing or whatever it was, I knew instantly, okay, use the thing.
Yeah.
It didn't help because I still had to look it up anyways, but it was a way to tell me like, okay, this isn't the right way to go.
It also told you more about the tiger and like the right way to use it.
Yeah, that was nice. There's something else I remembered. I think it was I think it was something in Yonkers. Like there was a safe or something.
Yeah, you need to use the aluminum-eating microbes on the safe at the ballpark.
Yeah. One is that I forgot I even had the damn things because they've been so stuck at the bottom of my inventory.
Yeah. I was using them on every single puzzle.
Which was another recurring thing I noticed is them giving you items and then waiting way later for you to use them again and going, I hope you remembered.
By the way, there's absolutely no use for the oil-eating microbes.
I noticed that too. Useless. The banana, useless. The mouse carcass, useless. There's a lot of useless shit. Yeah, dead bodies, useless. Okay, go figure.
Red herrings.
Yeah, red herrings, that's what it is.
That's not necessarily a bad thing in a game that's about challenging your ability to analyze and observe.
Well, they actually kind of have a purpose, like a side purpose, so they aren't integral to the story, but you might just touch on them to get stuff.
Huh.
They're just mufflers though, right?
They come in like a tier, so first they're like a muffler, and then they're a different thing, and then they become armor and weapons and stuff.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Armor and oh god.
Well, still, there's no way you would have known that you could get rid of it until you beat the game.
Yeah.
Do you know if they prevent you from doing that to quest crucial items?
I didn't try.
Okay. That's something to go back and try.
Oh yeah, there was another thing I remember. I think it was a metal rod that it was in a place that was weird.
Oh yeah, you just stumble upon that in Philadelphia.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I kind of like that though. I think that worked out well, where you go into the vault and it takes some reasoning to realize that the metal rod fits in that little hole there.
Yeah.
That one actually came pretty quick to me.
Because it also comes with a printout that says, "Oh, here are all the people we have in the vault."
I think I got the printout. Like that was one of the last things I got before I actually got it. I guess the changes to a more positive note. What were the puzzles that you guys did, or the exploration things that you did like? I want to know those.
I kind of like getting like rock-shaped things for the bouncer. What was it?
Oh, the collector.
Yeah, the collector of particular things. I kind of like that.
Oh yeah, that was chapter 2, was it?
Yes.
Like, oh, I have one rock-shaped thing in my pocket. I only have room for 3 more.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the entropy mission for the first chapter, where they tell you what you need, but it's not the same name as the item. So the collector tells you need oval-shaped things, so the entire time you're looking for, oh, here's an egg, that's an oval-shaped thing.
Yeah, and all of them, you get after you complete the other missions.
Yeah, that in particular I wasn't fond of, because that just makes me regurgitate the analysis I had already performed in a previous chapter. Although it's an effective way of keeping me out of entropy, I guess, if you need some way to do it.
Well, that's funny, because I actually had to go to entropy in order to use the aluminum-eating microbes on the safe that had shit, what's in the safe again? I forget.
Oh, it had something for Dick Clark.
Yeah, it had something for Dick Clark.
The ball that drops.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the ball.
That's a good point that they force you to encounter entropy to complete a mission that then you can face entropy later.
Yeah, that's weird. Because the pattern before that was usually something gets in the way, or in actually the same case there, you need all these bedisters of different colors in order to complete the mission, and then do a little bit extra.
Now, see, there's a moment of backtracking that is like super explicit and is not frustrating in the slightest.
Yeah, because the vault, I found that way before. I actually think I explored all of the New York area long before I finished Chapter 3, or Chapter 5, or Chapter 4. I don't remember, but the point is that I explored most of that area before I even do the mission that needed it. So, yeah, that was when it was clear for me where to go. Of course, if it wasn't for me sometimes forgetting where things exactly were, so I had to regain my bearings for where things were again.
And there was one more I liked a little bit because it was reactive. It was getting the Pappy outfit for the dying guy, so he could impersonate his father.
What did you like about that in particular?
I like that when you're in the room and you change into the outfit, it says you changed into the outfit, but the guy in the corner doesn't recognize, doesn't notice. It's rare to see this game being reactive to you, but that was something I remembered.
So, Greg.
I liked the Princeton puzzle where you have to overhear their plan, but they tell you explicitly where to go, so I don't know if I'd really, I don't think it's very useful to look at that under the lens of exploration. That's more puzzle solving where you have to pick up clues on how to use the dishwasher in that one location where you can hear them whisper.
Did you figure out that you needed to push wait twice?
Yeah. The only time in the game you need the wait button.
You can use it in the Wheel of Fortune mission.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And you actually just picked my favorite one. It was the Wheel of Fortune one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really like that one because you already have the things that you need, so by that point you already have the wire cutters, and it was one of those things where I was able to just be there for a while, but I was eventually able to get it, and that one I really liked. The other one that I liked was the first Warlord, where you have to take off his toupee, because by that point you also I think you should already have the magnet and the bust.
Right. You get the magnet from the first temple mission in the first chapter.
Yeah, and I don't remember where you get the bust.
From his, you get it from his room.
Oh, yeah. You take off the bust from his shelf and replace it with a magnet. That's right. And I like that one too. It was one of those that you have, everything before you, and you just got to figure it out. And it was also another one of those where the puzzle was an event plays out, and you have to do the things at the right time. And both of them also have to have the wait command.
So that, you like those because those were times where your preemptive exploration paid off into a satisfying sequence of events.
Preemptive exploration, it's that I didn't have to do that much preemptive exploration, because in both of those cases, you typically have the things before you get them. Like the wire cutters, I know you get them in the chapter before Chapter 3. I think it's Chapter 2? I'd have to look it up again.
You can get the wire cutters in Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Right, but it wasn't like the wire cutters just spawn in at Chapter 3, and then you had to do exploration after getting the mission. It was that because you had already cleared out every area you could, you came into the mission prepared, rather than screwed over.
Yeah. Actually, the wire cutters in the pawnbroker shop. But yeah, the point is, it was more of a puzzle in the game. And the fact that, there was a sequence of events that you had to do, that you could pick up clues on, and sort of learn things as you go along, and then figure out the right things to do. Made those the most satisfying for me, as opposed to, say, one of the later missions in the game, like in Chapter 5, where it's like, oh, the guy has one of the hostelries, his maps are all messy, and he's like, oh, get the girl with the map superpower, bang, done. It's like you already know the answer before you've even gotten there. So it's just getting there. And sometimes they'll say, like, oh, it's in the Philadelphia area, or they won't Like, in the earlier chapters, they actually tell you, use the whatever pass, or use the helicopter to get in the area, but then in the later ones, they just say, Middle Harrisburg, and I'm like, where the hell is that? They stopped
okay, though. I like that. That sounds like they were trying to gradually open up exploration. So that they were more explicit about where you need to go at first, and then gradually leave vaguer and vaguer clues so that you have to sort of reason out where to go.
Yeah.
But it can also leave you screwed if you don't know where Middleton Harrisburg is.
Yeah, so I know I had to go hopping on those subways a while before I could remember where things were. Like, you go to the blue, and then you go to yellow, and then you go to silver, then you go to red, and you go to gold, and that's how you get to the last area in the game with Niagara Falls. Anyways, remembering my point, yeah, the Hostelry one, that wasn't much of a puzzle, so that's why those two in particular I'm very fond of. The Wheel of Fortune in the Temple, and the Warlord.
Right, is that Poughkeepsie? I don't know. One of the warlords you have to steal to pay from.
Yeah, one of them. Other stuff that's kind of a puzzle, but I'm not so sure about because it's one of those that you kind of are more likely to just find out on accident, was the one with the fireplace where you just have to like find a thing in one of the warlord's house that's like nowhere near it.
Is it the souvenir rack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's like an 18-meter circle on the floor, and I'm like...
18-inch.
18-inch?
Yeah.
18 meters is really big.
You know, I saw the gun, and it gives you an option to shoot, so I thought for sure there would be a puzzle somewhere.
Yeah! What?
Yeah.
I thought that too.
I guess that's a real Chekhov's,
Chekhov's good, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that was the intended joke. I wouldn't put it past Moretsky, given his style of humor.
So what did you guys think of the puzzle where you have alligator shit?
Is that, you have to feed that to the android, or is that something else?
Yeah, you have to feed it to the android.
Feed it to the android.
I thought that was very pleasant and really fired up the imagination.
I almost thought I would have gone through the game without a poop joke. You showed me, Moretsky.
Yeah.
Poo on you.
Oh, I think I had a better way to explain why I like this puzzle, because I know other things was like stuff like the Chapter 5 entropy mission, where it's just use the termites on the tree, and that's another situation where cause root rot doesn't do anything. That's 2 trees in the game that you need to do something to, that you can't use the root rot power for, but yeah. But that's another thing where it's like, it's kind of like a one-step thing. If anything, there's just more steps to like actually do it. Like, open the termite hatchery, get termite eggs, put in hatchery, close hatchery, turn on hatchery, open hatchery again, and there you go. But really, it's all like, it's kind of like a one-step process. It's like tree, termites, boom, done. But with the other 2 that I mentioned, that wasn't the case. It's not like, oh, magnet, toupee, done. No. You have to actually look around in the room. And the thing is, like, the first time you're probably going to fail because he's going to walk out of the room after he puts on his toupee. The way it starts is that he's sitting in the chair, and then he has his toupee beside him, and you know he likes his toupee, because if you try to grab it, he'll snarl at you, he's like, no. So, you might think, well, maybe you got to do something sneaky and like get it when he's not looking, or try to distract him in some way. And you know, your imagination kind of goes with what you can and can't do. And then you look to other stuff in the room, and then that's when you see the bust. And then that's when you can sort of piece together that with the descriptions, like when you read the description of the toupee, it mentions that it's like lined with metal or lead. I don't remember what it was, or iron, I don't know. And that's when you can figure out, magnet, toupee, that'll get it without him noticing. And then that's how you get to embarrass the warlord and keep him in check. And yeah, basically there was a lot more to it. It wasn't, a one-step thing that you figure out, right there. Like with the map thing. Messy maps, the power to fix maps. Boom.
Yeah, well said. It does feel like a lot of the puzzles are like, just press a button and it gets fixed, in a sense.
Yeah.
You just need to find the thing that cures what ails it.
Yeah. Some of them
for
were.
those puzzles, I always viewed it the puzzle itself as just like a payoff for having explored and found the necessary items and cleared out the necessary combats. So that the puzzle itself being trivial, I didn't mind because it was just payoff for everything I had already done.
Sure. And I'm not saying that they can't have the tree termite kind of puzzle thing. I'm not saying they can't have those, but I am pointing out that those were the ones I liked the most, and those I think are probably the deeper puzzles that probably would have been more fit in the end. You kind of do that with the banana thing too. Well, actually not really, because it's just take the power of 10 and then use it 3 times in a row. And then that's it. Yeah. Yeah, not much of a process there, so okay, they don't really do it at the end. Those would have been the kind of puzzles that I think would have been fitting at the end.
Fox, are you planning any visits to Hoboken anytime soon?
I'll have to check the bus schedule, 'cause it sounds like a hot spot.
Adrian, are you gonna check out Hoboken after playing the Superhero League of?
I didn't know Hoboken was an actual place.
Yes, all of the places in this game are actual places.
Wow.
That's part of what makes it so fun.
So there's an actual place called Flushing?
Yes.
Hmm?
Oh, okay. I want to go to Flushing.
This past fall, I visited a friend from Scranton, and he was elated when I showed him the photo with the 30,000 pounds of bananas, because that actually happened.
I wonder if all these puzzles actually happened.
Well, Dick Clark did.
So, you mean to tell me that, damn it, what's his name, was brought back to life?
Dick Clark?
Oh,
Ryan Seacrest?
There we go.
Brensteiner?
Oh, Stein. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I just need to watch Seinfeld.
You're all fired.
Anyway, Adrian, any final words?
To be honest, I'm kind of glad to get Hoboken over with.
Fox.
I feel kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I want to pose a final question.
Oh.
So, suppose Moretsky got the Kickstarter bug and wanted to kickstart an HD remake or a sequel to Hoboken. How elated would you be?
You know, I think it would look absolutely nothing like this game.
Yeah. I would say you can make a game, like, with some of the ideas in here, you know, exploring around.
Oh. Make it like Fallout 3.
Sure.
That's
I mean, that's a bit large in scale, but,
Also,
sure.
It's a Superhero League.
I don't think so.
I kind of hate both for the same reasons.
Wait, you got stuck in Fallout 3 just like not knowing where to go?
No, choice, just like not having choice in solving things.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I play Zelda.
Go play your adventure games.
Yeah. The whole, well then again, that's not, puzzles multiple solutions, I guess. It would have been cool if you could use the put animals to sleep powers on the sheep or the wood rot powers. That would have been, cool.
C'est la vie. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me.
Alligator shit.
That's a high note.
All music in this podcast was taken from Superhero League of Hoboken. I'll leave you with this final thought. To what extent is exploration itself a puzzle? We think of exploration as this mindless meandering through a landscape, encountering challenges as they come. Are there knowledge tests we face when we decide whether to go north or south, east or west? If you have any comments or questions, please email vgcommune@gmail.com.
I guess this is the last, maybe not. A question to derail things. What did you guys make of the combat near the end of the game?
Like the Battle Royale you have by the Empire State?
Yeah.
Or?
Actually, yeah, you have that throughout the Harrisburg. I think that's what it is. The Harrisburg Middleton wherever the section where the Niagara Falls is. Throughout that section, you often encounter enemies in very large groups. What did you guys make of combat in that final chapter of the game?
I thought it was a good example of how I disliked the magic system. Because you really can't do much to plants unless you have that one spell. I guess you can focus, but that's not all that interesting. And the Battle Royale was just kind of boring.
The root rod wasn't it's pretty rare too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of it you have to get in that area too.
By that point, I had the mill marker for most of my characters, so I was pretty grateful for that. And a second mill marker for at least red tape, crimson tape.
I made an effort to buy almost every isotope that I came across, and the only one I skipped was the Power of Confusion, so I have no idea what that does, and it turns out it's not quest relevant, and you never are forced to use it, and I don't know if an enemy's even weak to it. But yes, the root rot power is incredibly rare. I only had 2 guys with it by the end of the game.
I didn't know Confusion was an isotope. Or a thing.
Yep. I found that in a guide, and I never came across it in the game.
It's in the area where you buy the beaver power. One of them is called like silver isotope, and it gives. Oh yeah, no, it's like less silveralis. It's making fun of it because Canada French. So yeah, if you look at it, it's the Power of Confusion, which one of the characters who comes into the game in the last chapter, I think it's Jester or Joker, I don't know what it is, actually comes with that power. So I didn't find it worth going after. And because it was ridiculously overpriced, it was like 2,000 something.
It was a little scary at the end there where I could see my income disappearing.